Hey guys, how's it going? Today's Kire here with another Infinite Magicraid video. And in today's video, I want to talk about the new patch that dropped about a day ago, maybe a few days ago, at the time of recording this. And it is surprisingly good, especially after the Christmas event with all the controversy there. It is nice to have something that's actually good in my opinion. And I do think a lot of people are initially seeing that they added more of these dungeons here in 31 through 35. Most people, like, for example, I'm farming 26 on pretty much all of these. I think I can go a little further, like see how I beat 28 on this. I can't do this. And I think a lot of people can't do this. So no one really cares about that. If anything, people are just going, oh, it's just another whale mechanic. Me personally, I like that there's always going to be progression in the game. These games get stale when you get to the final stage or there's no challenge to go for. Like, I like being able to figure out a stage here. Yes, there's other harder stages and there's benefits for doing so, but it is very difficult and eventually we'll get there. And games that don't have that, in my opinion, that's when they go stale. Because usually these games get figured out faster than the developer would think, or the developmental cycle is significantly longer than the enthusiasts are going to be able to, play through it. They're going to beat it way faster than they can develop new content. So I like that they have all this stuff way ahead of people that are like mega whales. And then also, I don't know if you guys seen this, but on these ones, they have special effects like HP burn is reduced. And I don't know if that's the same across all of them. I just know that at least on Rum here, that HP burn damage is reduced and bleed damage and burn damage is increased, which I think is cool. I think it's kind of a weird way of going around the obvious issue of HP burn being stronger. I think, why can't they just make that a baseline? Like, not reducing the HP burn, but increasing the bleed damage. Maybe it's just something to get it a little bit more interesting. Not sure, but I think that's probably the only thing I'm kind of questioning about that whole thing. Even though I do like that because it does make things a little bit more interesting. But even if for the HP burn characters, it's really hard. So I don't know. Maybe it's not the most elegant solution, but at the same time, it's still a nice change. When we finally get there, maybe people don't even care, but also at the same time, I think it deserves on video. It's going to change how I'm going to approach some of these mythic heroes. But the big thing I wanted to highlight is just how good the new guide is for characters. I already finished this, and then you end up getting a lot of rewards. Like, you get about 15 of these mythic shards. You get, like, for the first time ever, you can get a free version of one of these mythic hero conversions. So there's so many good things when it comes to this that I think is surprisingly good. And then the other thing here, let me actually switch to a new account. Here, let me switch to I'm going to switch to my free to play here, and I'll actually see what they have here, because I think they did a really good job with how this was implemented. Because a lot of the times when it comes to these things, so the dungeon bounty system, not the dungeon bounty. Okay, so the growth handbook. So this is page 1, and then page 2 gets even better. But what I really like about this, you get a free Liz. So everyone finally gets a really good epic hero guaranteed on their account, and I can rely on that. This is every account's eventually going to get Liz, which is an amazing hero. If you've already pulled Liz, then you just get an exclusive, which is awesome as well. So it's all W's there. Then what I really love what they did here is on the gear, they made it guaranteed rolls, especially on the attack ones. I don't know if it's on the other ones, but notice how they always roll crit rate, crit damage. Crit rate, crit damage. Then crit rate, crit damage. This is cool. Yes, they're 4-star pieces, but this is supposed to be in the beginning of the game. I think that's amazing that they did that. Here, let's see if they changed it yet. And then we got, oh wait, what? Is that a bug? Look at that. They have speed boots with speed substat roll. Huh. That's interesting. Here, I'm going to switch to my main because I believe I already pulled it. Okay, this is going off the rails here, but we're going to check this out because this would be the only piece in the game because they broke it. They intentionally made it a separate thing. So here... yeah, right here. Yeah. Speed boots with speed. That's wild. Here. Let's see if I can roll it. Damn it. Damn it, I couldn't roll it. But it's 164 speed. It's like basically, it's still not a 5-star piece, but theoretically, couldn't someone have a 4-star speed boots that's faster? Like, let's say this rolled 4 times. It would be tough because that's 64. And then you would need to beat what's like a max one? 216? Yeah, so 216. It'd be tough. Even if it like perfectly rolled, I don't think it would do that. But interesting that they just like broke the game there and made something that can't happen. Okay, but then what they did is at the end of this, I really wish they still showed it so I can kind of show, but there's about 5-star dragon eggs. And then at the very end of it, they give you this right here. Besides the very end of it is technically the mythic hero conversion. I believe talking about that deserves its own video because that's interesting. They also give these right here, the double emblem drops and also double dragon egg drops, which is awesome. But this, for new players, this is so hard to get, but they give you a guaranteed speed 5-star piece right here. The rest of it is random, but based on whatever characters you pull or the main character you want to actually use, you get a guaranteed version of this. And I think this is amazing. This is such a good way of implementing the 4-star drops on the pieces. Like Raid Shadow Legends never would do something like that. It's always, I believe in the very beginning there is guaranteed rolls, but it's like nowhere near as good as something like this, where you get a guaranteed epic hero that's good. Like I'm talking top tier epic that is super useful in Liz. You get gear that's guaranteed. You get one of the most rare things in the entire game, Mythic Conversion Stone, that would normally cost $100, never been given before. And you have a guaranteed faction selection for the 5-star piece of your choosing. So I think this is a massive W for people that are just starting out / getting into this game. This is going to make the progression so much better for people, which I think is really cool. And I'm glad that they're doing something like that. They have been targeting a lot of, definitely whale characters, for example, or whale accounts in the sense that they're doing stuff like this. But eventually we'll get here. And so that's why I'm okay with something like this. The one that I'm not okay with that I haven't really talked about yet, this felt very like blatantly like for whales was when you have a exclusive 5 character, it unlocks another thing. Like I don't have it yet. I can't see it. To give you an idea of just how much whaling you need to do to be able to get to this, I believe it's like Incarnate Sanctuary or something like that. Things like that. I normally would have a bigger problem with if they didn't have such a consistent upload schedule on updates. They've been easily one of the best games in this genre of doing that consistently. So I'm more lenient to like understand that. But at the same time, they had the Christmas event, which was a fail. Then they had that incorporated with the Christmas event. So I think definitely deserves some criticism there. But at the same time, I do think since they are uploading and improving the game so often, it's easy for me to give them a little bit more leeway than I would normally give for a company. Because for the most part, like if you see a bad update, you're like, oh, that's terrible. And I know it's going to be a long time until they actually update it again. So that's kind of why it's even more frustrating. But luckily, they have been addressing some of the early game pain points. And I think that's better. Yes, it's only a one-time thing. So food shortage is still a problem. I think hopefully they'll have some kind of way of implementing this. When it comes to increasing the economy or changing the economy of their like forced economy in these games, they're always going to be very stingy about that. That's just how all of these companies work, whether it be Diablo Immortal, Raid Shadow Legends, this game. They're always going to take that as a very serious thing, and they're going to like really milk it for as long as possible. So it's just a reality of the situation. Hopefully it's increased faster, but that's why it's something that they're going to take forever on. So that's pretty much it for this update here. I think this is actually a pretty good update, even though there is definitely cause for concerns and stuff like that when it comes to the game catering to the top 1%. But at the same time, they definitely, at least this patch, really focused on those early game pain points that I think will help out a lot. So that's going to be it for this video. You guys have a good one. Peace.